What is going on, Big Blue Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Bleed Blue Daily Show that's now the Bleed Blue Nightly Show. We have moved to nighttime. And apparently moving to nighttime means everyone's busy tonight, which is fine. It's a Friday night. Everybody's got kids. And I am here holding down the fort, but I will not be doing so alone. I am very excited to be bringing a guest on here in just 1 second. He's a 4-star offensive lineman who signed with the University of Kentucky Wildcats. He's our highest rated offensive lineman prospect in the class from Michigan, Darren Stray, and I will bring him in right now and we will talk. My man, what's going on? Welcome to the show and thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.
You it was funny when we were talking about doing the show. You said I was going to put on a nice shirt, and I was like, I don't know. Like, you're lucky I'm going to be in a hoodie. So it's good. First off, man, congratulations. Welcome to the BBN. I know this has got to be exciting for you. You've probably worked, very hard to get here. So just kind of tell me what it's like to go through the process of getting recruited and picking a school, ultimately that being Kentucky.
It was a lot different for me because I'm kind of in a smaller school around in Michigan area. So not many people come to West Michigan. Everybody goes to Detroit and they go up to Grand Rapids. They always kind of just pass by Paw
Lansing.
On Old I-9. Yep. So that was the biggest thing. So trying to get my name out there, I got invited to some camps, just because they see your size and everything, Going into my junior year summer, I only had a couple MAC offers. My first offer happened my sophomore year. It was from Central Michigan during the football season. But then, all these coaches were just talking to me. They're like, yeah, well, we'll wait, see your film. After the first scrimmage, then it kind of just boomed from there. Michigan State offered. Then it seemed like every game visit I went to, I'd get the offer. Minnesota, vice versa on. Then all these coaches started to figure out about me. They're like, hey, there is something in West Michigan. There's a big something in West Michigan.
You're not small. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm very envious at my age that I was not blessed with that height at all. Or I probably it's probably good. God knew that I would be a complete and total jerk if I would have been that much of an athlete. When did Kentucky kind of start calling, and because usually you see someone from Michigan and that's, it's no disrespect to Kentucky or other SEC schools, but you got Michigan, you got Michigan State, Central Michigan's been a great program for a long time. You've got Eastern Michigan. So you've got a lot of Division I, schools in your backyard. What was it about Kentucky that caught your eye, and when did you really start to feel like this might be a place you want to call home?
So it's kind of a funny story. The first time that Yenzer actually came in at the start of the week. And then it's funny, a week later, he goes up to the NFL, and here comes Eric Wolford, at the same time next week. He offers me.
Cool.
Yeah. But no, he offers me, I talked to him. He convinced me actually to skip a MSU visit and to go down there. And at the time, MSU was kind of high up on my list, but I go down. I remember it was in March. It was like a junior day visit. Just seeing the facilities and the SEC, because like you see these big schools in the SEC, and then you see this. I'm like, there is nothing that this school is missing. All the facilities were great and everything. Then suddenly they're like, okay, well, we're going to a basketball game. I do watch a little bit of college basketball, just playing. So I look, it's Tennessee at Kentucky. Big at the time. I think it was Dawson Connect and Rob Dillingham and all them. I've seen it in person is insane. But like just seeing that atmosphere for the basketball game and everything, I'm like, this place, after my visit, I told myself I could definitely see myself going here. Then old Wolford got me to come down for a practice visit at the time. Everything felt the exact same. Got to see how they coached and how well their practices are run. And then after that, it was kind of – I set up my OVs. I went to my Illinois OV. They were pretty high up on my list at the time. I was pretty high priority for them. And then Ole Miss comes out of nowhere, hits me with the offer on my birthday. kind of a little birthday present. But so
Old
then
Kiffin.
I plan all these official visits. Like I was going to start at Kentucky because they were my biggest one at the time.
Right.
Then I was supposed to get off at the airport at Detroit and then fly straight down to Oxford right after that. Yeah, that was a tough phone call to make. That was funny, but no, I had that. I was supposed to go to Wisconsin, and then the next week was Stanford and Louisville. I mean, L's down, but no.
All right, you didn't miss anything on that. Not going there. Trust me. Half of Kentucky doesn't even want to go to Louisville, and we live here.
I know, and it's funny. Our school is a big red color, but now I look at it, and it's kind of gross.
Oh, you're gonna endear yourself to the Big Blue Nation very quickly. Talking like that. Did you get to come to a game at Kroger Field? Have you been able to see that yet?
Oh yeah. So after I committed and everything, I went to the first. I saw the Georgia game, which I still think, that interception was a pick six.
Robbed.
Kentucky probably would have been number 1 seed right now above Oregon, but
probably only one loss.
Oh yeah.
I actually do say that I, and I've had that conversation. I've known Zion for about a year now too, and we've talked about that play, and I think that that's probably a play that changed the trajectory of Kentucky's season a little bit. Obviously that game still was in doubt till the end, but the atmosphere in that game was unreal.
Yeah, I found out my new favorite song is Grove Street Party.
Did you know that it got down like that in the Bluegrass
I didn't know that. You see like these stadium rankings, and I always looked at them, and I'm like, okay, Kentucky's kind of it's the SEC. There's nothing wrong with the SEC at all. And it was so loud. I went to a Penn State whiteout game last year against Michigan, and that was super loud. I'm pretty sure Kentucky was like right up next to it, and they had 40,000 less people in the stadium. So
that the metal bleachers help. The metal, so I'm sure you saw this too, right? In the end zones are metal as well. So that helped. And then when that press box went in, so I've been going to games for a long time because I'm old enough to pretty much be your dad. I was there for 07 when they beat LSU when they were ranked number 1, when they beat Louisville when they were ranked 9th. So there's a lot of loud games. Once that press box went in, it changed the trajectory. And then also Stoops kind of helping with bringing a different aura of big time college football. That's the loudest I actually think I've heard it. The second loudest was when Tavion Wallace returned the block field goal against Florida 4 years ago. I don't know. We beat them all the time now, so now I can't remember. But when you saw that, was that kind of like the kicker saying, "Hey, I want to play in an environment like this"?
100%. I used to be a Big Ten snob just being up here. I'm like, man, there's nothing like the Big Ten. I used to be a huge Notre Dame fan and everything. I see this, and I'm like, man, this is what you consider the lower level stadiums. I'm like, get me down to the swamp right now. I'll get into 2 Point. Let's go.
It's hot down there. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, but no, that pick six, I still remember. I actually pulled my camera out right after it started happening. I just replay that moment. It was so loud.
So when you talking now about you commit, you're coming here. What's kind of the thing that you want fans to know about you as a player that they may not know just looking at a recruiting ranking or seeing, hey, this kid committed, right? Like what do you want the Big Blue Nation to know about yourself before you suit up and get on campus?
I'm here to work, and I'm here to help rebuild that Big Blue ball. I'm not a very flashy guy. Usually just trying to be a workhorse. I love finishing blocks. I can tell you one thing. There's nothing I love more than just putting a kid on his back 15 yards down the play, and then I go help pick my running back up. But, I'm super invested in trying to turn this culture around and turn this team around. I know we can.
I think we might have lost.
What this team's
we lost you for a second. Sorry about that. You're
Where'd
back
you
though.
lose me at?
Right after you said pick my running back up.
Oh, yeah, no. So I always go back, pick my running back up, and I'm ready for the next play, Just kind of some old-fashioned football. You don't see it much anymore, but
what was it about the coaches that really made you drawn here? Obviously, look, you're young. I'm sure you're on social media. I'm sure you see stuff, that we didn't have the season we wanted to have. But what was it about the coaching staff and as a player, does having a poor season, knowing you're coming in as someone who was, highly touted, a big recruit especially for position of need, does that make you like more determined to come here, knowing that you're the person that's going to be, cornerstone of fixing that?
100%. I'm trying to help rebuild this thing. And I have a lot of trust in Eric Wolford. Meeting him for the first time, I'm like, man, this dude's crazy.
That was actually a perfect place for his
From my personal life and help coach me.
So State Line Co is in there's a little chat thing you can have, and sometimes I put it up, sometimes I don't. It just depends on if we have a bunch of people. But he goes L's down after you said that. Like, have they reached out to you about hats yet? Because if not, we need to get them on you, because I feel like you're the perfect guy to rock stuff like this.
Oh no, he hit me up last night. It looks like a nice hat. That one, that camo one, and that upside down Kentucky. That one's kind of cool.
So
I didn't like seeing the Tennessee hats, so those were kind of
No, he special made this one for me because I got a big ass head. So he had to special make this with a bigger size. It was a problem because I don't wear like normal people hats. It's not because I have a big brain. It's just a lot of rock inside, So I should have played football probably, but I didn't. I'm way too short to play football. Before we let you go, man, what's the one thing you're looking forward to most about your first season playing D1 big time SEC football? I think he cut out again. We're having a little technical difficulties.
Back, I see you now.
Yep. Okay. All right. What's the thing you're looking forward to the most playing your first season of SEC Division I football next season?
Definitely just getting with my boys, when the fall comes around. Putting in every hour, every work, diet, plan, everything. I'm 100% bought in, and then seeing how my teammates are and how this team turns around, Everybody's got it. It's just a culture change, and I believe in it.
Awesome, man. Well, man, I appreciate it. I know it's a Friday night, and you've got other things you could be doing, but I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to the Big Blue Nation, to talk to us, and hopefully it's not the last time we talk. And good luck this season, and wish you all the best, and hopefully we see you starting soon, and then eventually on Sundays.
Yes, sir. Go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue. Appreciate you, man. Darren Stray, 4-star offensive tackle commitment from Papa, Michigan. Very excited to have him on. So, as you can see, it's just me tonight. So it probably won't be a hell of a long show, which is fine. We also have a pregame show tomorrow, which is something I'm really looking forward to. We have the watch along tomorrow night, which is very exciting. I cannot wait to do that. Let me just see if anyone. Anyway, Kentucky takes on Gonzaga tomorrow. Obviously, a massive game for Kentucky after losing Lamont Butler. We still don't necessarily know if he's 100%. I haven't been able to get on Twitter a whole lot in the last hour or so, like from the scrolling perspective. So if he's cleared or if other people have seen something, great, let me know, because I have not seen that. If not, I think that there is a doubt there. It sounded like Mark Pope is going to run with Travis Perry in that situation, give him some. Now, obviously, he won't. I think Kirk Creaser would start, but it sounds like Travis Perry would get more clock and more run. I did not sound like it didn't sound like he was going to put anybody else in at that to run point. He sounded very committed to the fact that it was going to be Kirk Risa or Travis Perry. He said he had a ton of confidence in him from his press conference yesterday. He also mentioned College Chandler, thinking that he's going to be a guy that's going to, really help as the season goes on. And he said he said he liked his team better after losing, which he thought I was going to get him in trouble for asking that question. After the loss than before, and the team. He said the guys really are resilient. The thing that he liked the most about the Clemson game was that in the second half, they said, we've got to stop the rebounds, the offensive rebounds. They didn't give up an offensive rebound in the second half. It was second chance point. They didn't give up any second chance points in the second half, which was huge. That was something that it was a huge point of emphasis for them. Obviously, we didn't shoot very well. That's got to get cleaned up. But if this team has a bunch of really good shooters on it, if they continue to get wide open looks, they're not gonna keep missing. You're not gonna keep hitting only 7 3-pointers when you're getting out of your 25 shots. Probably, I don't know. I'd say a good 15 to 17 of those were wide open. So that's great. Someone just said, I think we learned Lamont Butler is the most important piece on the team. Got extremely stagnant without him. I agree. Butler, especially against a team like Clemson, I think that's trying to be a lot more muddying in the water, right? A team that wants to slow it down a little bit, doesn't want to give Kentucky the space, especially on a fast break. Lamont does a very good job of making sure the team's where it needs to go, but also does a very good job of getting to the rim and creating spacing for the team in the half court. Kerr, I think the ball stops a little bit with him. He's a little bit too. I love Kerr, don't get me wrong, but I think he's a little too right now in the offense, a little too much where he looks to score potentially first. And to make the flashy play instead of necessarily instead of I don't want to say the right play. I feel like that's bad. Not the right play. He likes to make the flashy play. He looks for that first. And I think that's just where he just needs to settle down a little bit. He takes some shots that are a little reckless. That's who he is. Look, there's probably going to be a game where he does that and he just goes off for like 25, 30 points and he's just unconscious. I just don't think you're going to get that consistently from him. He reminds me a little bit of Allen Iverson with kind of the reckless abandon, not necessarily not the scoring prowess, but how he's a little bit reckless. Someone said heard that Chriso was -22 against Clemson. That is correct, or -21. That is correct. Not everybody loves the plus minus, but in that situation, I think the plus minus was a little bit more accurate from that perspective. And they got to clean up. They got to clean up the inside post play. I felt like Amari was people watching a little too much instead of positional watching. We said that a lot on the live stream or on the watch along, excuse me, where he kind of got caught watching the ball where the ball was and not commanding the presence or the position inside. I think that's something he's got to work on in this game. I think Pope said that Clemson has the runs plays through the post the sixth amount and Gonzaga does it the third. So we're going to play a team that's basically like Clemson on steroids tomorrow. So that should be fun. I know we're all very excited here about that. But I don't think Clemson's probably a bad team. They lost to Penn State, who absolutely clocked Purdue yesterday. So I don't think that maybe, some people were like, oh, it's a bad loss. I mean, we were 1.5 point favorite for that game. So we weren't massive favorites to begin with. So I wouldn't say it was a bad loss. I mean, it was a quad one loss on the road by 4 points, and we didn't play particularly well. So I don't know if I would classify it as a bad loss. But look, they've got it. They've got to get their act together, because tomorrow is in my opinion, is a different animal. Gonzaga is very well coached. Mark Few's been there for a long time. He's gotten them to Final Fours, national championship game. They're probably the best program to not win something in the last 20, 25 years. And I think Kentucky's going to have their hands full. Obviously, you're traveling all the way out to the West Coast. You're going to Seattle. I don't know if they left last night or yesterday afternoon. I know that they had not left, obviously, by noon, because Pope did the press conference. So, there's going to be some adjustment there. The game's late this time. It's going to be, middle of the or earlier normal evening time for a game out west. We will have to put up 33s and hope to hit 50%. I don't think we have to hit 50%. I don't know. Look, I think Lamont plays into this where that lands. Kentucky's also shown that they can get to the rim. They can get ugly shots. They can win some games that are a little bit more ugly than others. I think it depends on how they play on the defensive side of the ball, what that dictates from the 3-point line. I thought defensively, Kentucky played very well, especially in the second half. They really cleaned things up. When Kentucky rebounds, they're a very hard team to beat. The problem is they don't rebound necessarily all the time. Otega's a good rebounder. Jackson Robinson, shockingly, is a pretty good rebounder. Amari has got to face up and put the nicest way to put it is put his ass into someone on the rebound, not worry about where the ball's going, just get a body onto someone. I think this team's going to have to be a team rebounding team, where everyone's kind of crashing the boards. I know that there's part of the offense is to kind of get it and go. But I think as the year goes on and as the physicality continues to increase, I think you'll see Kentucky be a little bit more used to it, potentially than they are earlier in the season. I didn't like that we lost to Clemson, but I also wasn't upset that we lost to Clemson. It was your team. Pope needs to see the team lose. He needs to see this team with adversity, because when you get into the tournament, you're going to have to know what that looks like from the team perspective. Not saying that Pope's never seen that as a coach, but this team is different, right? Like, there are a bunch of different guys, how they react together in that group. It's the first time that this group has probably had any kind of real negativity around it since it's been together, because it's been such a, positive movement and positive outlook from Mark Pope, basically from the press conference all the way until now. So I think that it's going to be interesting. And look, I think Kentucky's got a shot to win tomorrow. I 100% do. I don't think that there's any doubt about the fact that I would expect Kentucky to come out and have a good show tomorrow, and compete. I'm not sure what the line is. I'm going to look up that real quick. I don't know if it's out yet or not. Usually the line for the next day doesn't come out right off the bat. Let me look real quick. I hate that ESPN takes me. Hang on. Let me see tomorrow's games schedule for tomorrow. Let's see what the line is, if it's out. Kentucky at Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a 5.5-point favorite. That sounds about right. I mean, Gonzaga is okay. Sorry, you put Gonzaga by 6. My bad there. If Kirk Reese is getting a lot of minutes, might have to get some pickup and some pick and rolls. I agree. I think the biggest thing, if Kerr has to play a lot of minutes, Kerr needs to just chill. Oh man, I got.
Is it because of me?
Yeah.
Oh, Nikes.
You came in hot.
First time using a new computer.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Jay. Jesus.
Oh. Hey, at least I can hear you.
I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Let me get back to the. Sorry. Let me go to the chat. Yeah, Kirk Risa. if he has to play a lot of minutes, my biggest worry with Kerr is on defense. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think we can survive some bad shots. The thing that scares me the most is he got absolutely abused in a lot of those pick and roll situations or switching at the top of the key. He just seemed a little lost. Hopefully that's something that gets cleaned up. No one doubts the kid doesn't play hard, but that's a little bit of a worry for me for that. Someone just said Genty just had his Heisman ceiling moment. I'm assuming that means that Boise State is winning. I'm not able to. I haven't been watching. Obviously, I've been doing this, but I also got 2 sick kids. Army is throttling Tulane. What in the world? All right, so Boise State's killing UNLV, but Army is absolutely throttling Tulane. That is. Ooh, did you see that?
What's that?
Army is pistol whipping Tulane.
I just got home from a basketball game.
21-0.
Oh, wow. And they lost last week. Dang.
Look, I will say this, and I'm going to stand on this mountain. I'm going to stand on this mountain. This has nothing to do with the current coaching staff, nothing. But I'm telling y'all this. I am not the guy that, I am not the dude saying, John Summerall, come save us. I am not that guy. I do not dislike John Summerall. I think that he has a chance to be a very good coach. But he has a lot to prove to me before you make the jump to the SEC. I would like him to go to a Power 4 job beforehand. There's things like last week and what's going on this week. Now, I'm not saying they can't come back and win, but that makes me nervous. And you might say, Paul, what about Stoops and bye weeks? All right, well, we're not talking about Stoops is already here. I'm the devil I know and the devil I don't know is 2 different things, but I'm just telling you right now, yeah, I mean, Summerall might be going to North Carolina and the team's responding in that, or, I don't know. Someone said Summerall is packing his bag, saw it coming. I wish I would have, because I am going to lose every freaking parlay in the world probably if that doesn't change soon. So, but anyway, that is that. So what's up, my man? How you been?
Hey, 1-0. Got my first dub tonight. 47-42. That's a win. It's a scrimmage, but hey.
What a high scoring game.
7-minute quarters, dude.
Well, I thought Cal was playing.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, that 1-3-1 defense I run, nobody can score on it. So good times. Nah, it's going well, man. I'm excited to join. Sorry I couldn't get on earlier. I heard a little bit of the interview with the offensive lineman recruit and seemed like a nice guy. I liked it. Hopefully he's got a little mean in him.
I mean, he sounded like he did, where he said he likes to just block people 15 yards down the field, go pick his running back up, and then tell him he's going to do it again.
Oh, I missed that part. That's awesome.
I was like, oh. And he said it was funny. He said, he goes, all these coaches used to pass up Pawpaw, and then they figured out that there was a little something, well, maybe a big something up here. And I'm just like, yeah, man, you ain't little, you big.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
6'7", 300 plus. That's a big boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Once he gets, obviously he's not going to play next year, but once he gets into our program and does strength and conditioning, he's going to get even bigger and stronger and be nice.
He's the type of guy you probably start to look to see him start as like a sophomore or redshirt, maybe even a redshirt freshman, right? That's still, I think he's coming in January too. So that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You're basically cheating. You're getting a whole extra, jumps. You're basically getting a big jump start on that. Most of our class comes in January, by the way. So that's positive.
It's always good.
And we looks like Kentucky linked with an offensive line recruit from Western Michigan. Have you had a chance to see that?
Oh, it was Western Carolina.
Western Carolina. Sorry. Yeah. Western Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that. And I saw some people talking about, we don't want him. He's not in the Power 5, conference, whatever. And the dude had a ton of pancakes. He's a big dude and looks like he's Mr. Reliable. So our offensive line wasn't that.
I can't see where he gave up a sack last year either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the dude didn't let anybody through him. I don't care who you're playing. They played some tough opponents. So, I mean, I love to have them. And our offensive line wasn't very good. So anything that we bring in is going to be an improvement. So, it doesn't hurt. And we need depth too. So, I mean, we lost in Christmas today. So, we need some depth.
So here is my thought process for offensive linemen. Okay. I do not like offensive linemen if you're going to get them from the Power 4 unless there's a coaching change. My thought process is you go get guys that have NFL potential, that have all the measurables, the 6'5", 6'6", 310, 330 type guys and above, right? That can play at the next level or can be very, very good at this level, that have a lot to prove, have a chip on the shoulders, and are going to be the guys in the locker room. Like, if this guy comes in here on weight training days, you know what? He's not going to let anybody slouch, right? Like, that's the type of stuff you also need. I'm going to get guys on the offensive line that are there, and I'm getting Power 4 skill players. That's like, now I think it's different if you're going to get a skill guy from a group of 5. Not saying you can't go get good skill players from group of 5. They're there, right? I'm not saying like if you go get like one of the best ones, they're out there. I'm not saying that there's not. But that is what I think you're going to see from Kentucky, because I don't think, like, we went out and got 2 guys that were offensive linemen from the SEC, and they both were not good. Right? Yeah. Farmer and Mincy. I can't believe Mincy put something out that he's going to the NFL today. I mean, and it was in the chat. Somebody was saying like you can't get concession stands in the middle of the game there. So and comments were turned off. So that was kind of brutal. But anyway, I think that's what you have to look at. And I think that's the one thing Kentucky football fans have to understand. And this is just, I understand that the season sucked, but you got to go get the guys with potential from the step below that have all the measurables and that have all, like, listen, if you didn't give up a sack, I don't care who you are. You probably don't suck. All right. You probably don't suck. I want those guys on the, and then everywhere else though, unless it's, again, like, maybe you go get a linebacker who he was not highly recruited, and he, grew and developed, and now he's 6'3", 230, and he can go play at that next level. Maybe, there's guys like that out there, but that's my thought process. What do you think?
No, I agree. I like what you said when you said chip on the shoulder. I mean, these guys, if he's at Western Carolina, obviously he probably only had 1 or 2 offers coming out of high school.
Abilene.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. So, I mean, these guys want to prove that they can make it at the highest level. The SEC is the highest level. And so getting this guy I saw that he said he's working on getting a visit set up. So I think if we can get him on campus, then it's probably a done deal. Obviously, transfer portal still, we're going to see a lot more guys come out, and, we'll see a lot more guys come out in the spring too, but we got a lot of holes to fill. I don't think Kentucky's transfer portal guys are finished yet. We're going to continue to see guys jump into the portal also. I mean, I know we've all been texting.
I don't think that there's anybody that's going to go in there now from now on that you're going to sit there and go,
Yeah.
Like, that's not a guy that, we've not been surprised by anyone outside of Keyshawn Silver. That's the only one that's thrown us.
That's the only one.
And then we find out that Keyshawn Silver is going to be like one of the highest paid non-QB players in the
all of it. Yeah. I agree. I mean, our list has been pretty much 95% right, except for Silver was the only one that we were shocked by. Everybody else we had on there. I think maybe if it hasn't came out, I haven't been on X or anything today, but like Brock, has he made his decision yet? I think we all know what's going to happen. Exactly.
I was told he's not going to make an announcement. Like, he's not going to. He's not going to come out and make this thing. Maybe he changes his mind. I don't know. I was told he's not going to say, he's just going to kind of disappear. He's already graduated, so he can do whatever he wants, right? Brock's not going to be on the team next year. He's not going to play football next year, to my knowledge, unless he has a change of heart. I mean, I don't know. I think ones to keep an eye on. Gavin Wimsatt's one to keep an eye on. Would not be shocked if that's a name that you see in the portal. I would. I know we're there. I think a lot of people are looking at Wilcox potentially, but Wilcox, if he leaves, it's going to be money driven, not because of playing time. I think he stays. I think he will stay for lots of reasons. But that's me, and we want him to stay, right? Like that's
Oh yeah.
I think if he comes back and if Chip comes back with Patterson and Wilcox, I don't dislike my running back room. We just got to make sure the O-line's there. We're going to go get a wide receiver, maybe two. All right? Don't freak out. We're going to go get wide receiver. I think they're talking about quarterback. I know some people said, well, I don't know what they want to do. I think they know what they want to do. I just don't think they've talked about it yet. So that there's that.
We'll get a tight end. We'll get at least one.
I maybe we don't need a tight end. We don't need one, but we might go get one. Because it's the guys behind him are young, right? Like they might go get like a senior type guy because Willie's going to be basically a true sophomore. Caddis will be the senior. He's going to be the old guy. They might go get another guy that's like really good for a block on the blocking side, for run plays and things like that. I think then you're going to see Kentucky go and look at edge. I think edge is going to be a big thing. I think there's a lot of guys that they're going to look at that maybe you don't say flashy, but like you look at their stats and you go, if half that translates next year, they're going to be really good. I think that's something to keep an eye on from that perspective.
We need another D tackle for sure.
Linebacker's going to be interesting because of De'Aaron Jackson. Does he come back? If he does, that's big. Because
that's huge.
Him and Rayner, I like my linebackers if they come back because then you have Alex Safari that's playing. I think Alex Safari could potentially play more of the Zion Childers role. I think that's maybe where you see him move to. Maybe not, could be wrong. Just thought process. I think Ty Bryant could play that role too. If that happens, maybe they go get another safety. The narrative out there that nobody wants to come play Kentucky, though, is just not true. And someone will say, why would people want to come to Kentucky? Here's why. Number one, it's the SEC. You come here and have a good year, you're gonna and you're a junior or senior, you go to the league. Period. Doesn't matter if we go 12-0, we go 0-12. You go to the league. That's number one. Number two, starting. You're going to have a lot of spots for guys that are going to be able to come here and start right off the bat. I don't think Kentucky's going to try and look at a lot of guys that either didn't play a lot or were backups.
Yeah.
I just don't see that. I think Kentucky is going to look at guys that had a decent amount of playing time, and maybe there's someone in front of them, but they have a lot of they have the experience, or they're guys that played a lot and are looking for maybe more money or another opportunity. What's up, Brando?
Yo.
What do you think about the wide receiver coach? I've not really heard any names yet, but obviously we're going to have to wrap that up pretty soon. The
answer's easy. Get Randall Cobb. Get him over here. Or look like Bowden. Bowden seemed like he was interested. I don't know, man. I think that would be a cool hire. Somebody that has ties to the program who's not going to just dip out when the next best thing comes up. I think that's what needs to happen.
I'd love to have Bowden, but he's still on the cringe on NFL roster and stuff. He can still play.
I think. I know Jeff Badette said he'd do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of guys that would potentially look, there's enough guys also in our stable who have come through here that are real high class guys that if they're, I don't know. I think some of them coach. I think Juice coaches, maybe. I'm not sure. Or somebody. I think there's enough guys out there that if you wanted to bring somebody like that in, if you're not going the proven route or whatever, I don't think that's bad. I mean, I think from a culture perspective, that could also help smack.
It's a
Speaking
pipe
of
dream, but
culture,
if you think about Randall Cobb and like he's a receiver, but he can look through the lens of as a quarterback and the different things he did on a football field,
Bro's
like
got a
he's
Super
got
Bowl ring.
yeah, like he's got the knowledge to do the thing. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, if there's a resume out there, like if I can drop mine, I'll take a shot. I don't know if they'll pick me up, but I might throw my name in the hat if they're
You gonna quit the military and go be the wide receiver coach for Kentucky?
I can't quit the military, but I mean, I'll finish out this. I'll drop some papers to get out, and then if they give me a chance, that might be I might do that for sure. And I'm not going to leave after 1 year. I'll stick around until the next 20 if they let me.
Be like the Anthony Fauci of Kentucky football, just survives 6 different coaches, just never
What about
leave.
Chad Ochocinco? He's talked about wanting to be a wide receiver coach, and he follows Kentucky football religiously.
That would be something, man. I mean, sweet feet. Let him come out there and
he'll get recruits
for sure. And I don't know how it ties in, but I bet he can bring some cash to the program too.
Yeah, Des Bryant is another one I thought of. He follows Kentucky football pretty close.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All these are pipe dreams. I don't see him I don't think they could see him making that kind of splash higher, but it would be nice.
Jeff Badette is on. There's an article about Jeff Badette and the wide receiver coach position.
Man, I thought he was fantastic on the pregame show.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I mean, his energy and everything was just awesome the whole time.
Speaking of like culture and stuff here, like this is something interesting to talk about. Not sure if everyone has seen this or not, but there's a lot of former players that are out there that are saying a lot of things about culture and things like that. It sounds like some of the former players did not like how some of the current players acted and behaved. If you have Lynn Bowden calling you out, you're probably like really extra because the dude stole Mark Stoops' parking spot all the time. I mean, like Lynn Bowden did everything to just not like to get kicked off the team. And look, like what did they say? When you're winning on Saturdays, if you're a little bit of a headache, it's okay if on the field you perform right. And that's what Juice, I think, it said, right? Like if you get away with a lot more if you're producing on the field and in practice, right? Like you're doing all the things, you steal Mark Stoops' parking spot all you want. But when you don't produce and you're not doing the right things in practice, that's where you get in trouble. What do you think about some of the comments of some of the former players that have been making on social media today around, just overall?
I mean, I loved it. Quentin Bohannon, AJ Rose, Chris Rodriguez did a video one where he talked about, supporting the coaches. And for one,
Bowden, Lynn Bowden said something.
Yeah, Lynn Bowden. Yeah. Benny Snell did also, and he never tweets anymore.
DeAndre Square. You've also got Jeff Badette's also said something. Garrett Johnson said something. It's interesting from that perspective. What do you think about that? And do you think that's something telling that a lot more fans should pay attention to?
Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, these guys were around these coaches for multiple years, and they're always willing to support these guys because they had their back, it sounds like. And they're winners. Yeah, so, I mean, we've heard, I mean, Matt Jones said it multiple times about
like they're saying something.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's something wrong. You could just feel it. I mean, once I saw the guy at the freaking concession stand, I'm like, this is bad. Like, as a coach right now, like that player literally, if they went to a concession stand during a game, they would have been kicked off, and I would have never let them back on my team.
Anyway, right? I mean,
no, I know. I'm just saying as an example, like that would just they wouldn't even consider doing that. They're supposed to be sitting there cheering on their teammates, and we got guys going to get popcorn and a hot dog and a brat. I mean, that's just insane. It's crazy.
I'm looking at our 2021 recruiting class. Wait, was it the 2021 class or the 2020 class?
2021.
21, I think.
Yeah.
Or was it the 22 class?
Nah, it's 21.
I think it's 22. Hang on.
T.
I think.
Brown.
Yeah, I was just on 21. It wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's 22. All right. So we're looking, if we look at our 2022 recruiting class, right? Here's the guys. Keontae Goodwin, gone. Barian Brown, gone. Alex Safari. Did everyone forgot? Alex Safari was a high 4-star.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? Alex Safari was a big recruit. Tyrese Fearby, gone. JQ Hardaway, still here. Deion Walker, gone. But he's gone because of the NFL, right? Dane Key, gone. Keaton Wade, gone. Grant Bingham, I have no clue.
Gone.
All right. Jordan Anthony, gone. I assume. I don't even know who that is.
He's gone after first year.
Nicholas
Track
Hall.
star.
Nicholas Hall. Quintel Jones. Jacoby Albert. I know he's not here. Andre Stewart. I think he's still here, isn't he? Is he still here?
Our coach's name, Andre Stewart, ain't he? Antoine.
Destin Wade, gone. Elijah Reed, gone. Brandon White's here, but he might leave. Josh Caddis, here. Noah Matthews, gone. Jackson Smith, gone. That 2022 class is basically, and that was the high. That is the best class we've ever signed, and the entire class is almost gone. We had a 5-star and a gazillion 4-stars in that class.
Yeah. Which were all juniors this year. That's when you expect them to be productive for you.
I think he's still on the team, I think. Yes. I think Grant Bingham is still on the team.
Wow.
I think. He was a 4-star recruit too.
That says a lot. I mean,
that's
obviously
telling, right, guys? Like that to me is that to me, when you look at that whole class, and a lot of them are gone. I mean, Keontae Goodwin was, I mean, what is that guy even doing anymore? Like, he was such a big time recruit.
Same with Reed. I don't even know where he's at. Elijah Reed. I mean, he played safety, right?
He was a 3-star.
Yeah, he was part of that Goodwin. You know, they used to all go work out in Louisville, that crew. Goodwin that committed to Kentucky, then went to Florida, and I don't know where he's at now.
Let's see.
He was supposed to come back home and play for Louisville. But
no, I mean, I think these were like these recruiting classes and these stars and whatnot. I mean, it's all great to get them, but like we've seen, when they show up, the culture's big. You know, how do they react when you play other people who are also 4 and 5 stars? Like, you're not the stud who's getting the ball. Like, how do you react to that? Like, it's getting the right guys. And you know, we talked about it today. If some who seemed like they had it figured out, and you know, they weren't hungry anymore. If they leave and we get some folks who are dogs who are hungry to show the proven, a lot like what we've seen with the basketball team, right? I'm about it. Like, let's see what they can do. Let's see what some 3-star transfers can do when they get into this program and have some time to step up and play. We saw it this year in the SEC. Teams that we weren't expecting to do well stepped up. We're seeing it throughout college football right now. You know, whether or not they're for real or not, we'll find out when the playoff starts. But just the fact that IU is where they're at now is impressive, because they went out and got the guys who have the right mindset, the right culture to go out there and play
That's
ball
a great
for the right
point.
reasons.
That is a phenomenal point, by the way. That is a phenomenal point. Retweet. That needs to get posted. Whether it's from you and we retweet. That is a phenomenal fucking point, Rando, right there. Look at IU. IU was a dumpster fire disgrace of a program. The coach came in and brought a ton of guys. They're not a bunch of 5-star guys. They're a lot of guys brought from his team, hungry dudes, And someone could say, "Oh, the schedule, all this and that." Great. Guess what? They all played like dogs, though, right? The two things to say is Indiana and Kentucky basketball. There's not one guy on this Kentucky basketball roster outside of like Travis Perry who would be on this roster in another situation.
Yeah. I mean, you even had it with Vanderbilt with Diego. He came from New Mexico, wanting to prove himself. And look at Vanderbilt this year. I mean, they were fantastic.
Bobby is the dog, right? Like you
Yeah.
got to. The thing is I want Kentucky to get some dogs that are going to lead the pack to make them dogs, right?
Yeah.
And what they said was too is you need your offensive linemen are leaders, right? They're big, they're loud, you're kind of sorry.
What happened?
I'm nothing. I can't tell you. I want to do a backflip though, but I can't tell you.
You better text it to me then. Holy cow. Well, that's good. You want to do backflips. Well, that makes me feel good about it. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. We need dogs. We need linemen that are pancake somebody, put them on the ground. When they try to get up, spit in their face, put them back on the ground again. So, that mean backyard dog. And I'm hopeful we'll go get some of those guys. Now I'm distracted on what he just got text.
There was something that he mentioned to me earlier. I don't know if it's tied to that or not, but we'll see. Oh no, man, my garage here, the damn
Brando lost his lights. Yeah, Paul's freaking getting text. They were falling apart.
Did pay the power bill. Hold on, I got to turn it.
Listen, I'm just gonna put this out there, all right? And you all and the 400 people listening to this are probably gonna call me fucking insane, and I don't care. There's a world where Kentucky's got a potential to make a playoff run next year. If they get some of the dudes that is getting talked about, they yes. I'm just gonna put yes, they have a shot. I mean, if they get some of the dudes, then they got a shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like, during the press conference, Stoops said the NIL is starting to get figured out. So hopefully that did, because you definitely need the support from donors. And, if that's got figured out and we have those opportunities, even the revenue sharing, if that gets figured out, I think we can be competitive. And hopefully we are. We got the staffing. They're not, we got our staff. Let's get behind them. Let's stay positive. We owe that to Stoops. I mean, he came here when we were pretty much dog crap, embarrassment, and they turned it around. And I know it's year 12 and we shouldn't be rebuilding again, but that's where we're at. So you can either be pissed about it or you can get behind these guys that stayed and wants to do the work and the guys that come in and support them. And then let's cheer these guys on and hope for the best.
You talk, sorry.
Nah, all good. I don't. Did you talk about the basketball game tomorrow? I know. Obviously, we got the pregame show and everything like that. We got the watch party. It'll happen tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. So I haven't looked at the spread, but it's a good opportunity to go to Gonzaga. It's gonna be a tough atmosphere, just like it was in Clemson. But I was really excited about how Pope went on that press conference and talked about he owned a lot of the stuff and he heard what the fans had to say about how we performed, and hopefully we figured that out. No update on Butler as of this point, but they said Travis Perry will be ready to go if needed. I wish we would have saw him another day a little bit, but hopefully Kerr has a bounce back game and we go be competitive. I think we can easily beat Gonzaga at their place. I haven't really been highly impressed with them when I watched them, to be honest. Noah Hickman's been there for feels like 17 years. He's a Kentucky commit and he's been there for at least 6.
He's not been there nearly as long as Ziegler though. Ziegler really tested being a free agent and then signed that new 5-year deal with Tennessee. So he'll be here next year too.
So yeah,
What,
I mean, I'm feeling good
that's
about
going to be the
that.
next thing. Like, I guarantee you that's the next thing. Like, the end date, someone challenges, well, why does someone only get 4 years of eligibility? Why can't, if they keep getting a degree, why can't they stay until they're 30?
That'll probably get changed. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a doctor, you can play for 8 years.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Why not? Why not? Yeah, I hope not. That'd be crazy. This is the
Dude,
last year of
dude,
the COVID piece.
if that was the case, Tebow would still be the quarterback of Florida.
And he'd be doing it too.
Probably.
He was loyal to Florida for sure. Man, he was so good at Florida.
18-year college football career, hangs it up. College Football Hall of Fame, Tim Tebow. Plowing 18-year-old kids until he was in his early 40s.
He'd do it too, man. Dude's still in A shape. God.
Dude, where did Rando go?
I don't know. He's paying the light bill, I think. The lights went out.
I dig. No, I think that the team's got a good shot tomorrow. I'm excited for the pregame show. Excited for the watch along.
Yeah. I should be on the watch along tomorrow a little bit.
And excited for the news we get to drop on Monday about what's going on for Louisville the following week.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. It's gonna be good times.
That's gonna be fun. If Rando's not, where did Rando go?
He said his lights went off. He said, I gotta go do something. I'll be right back. He probably baby's crying. He's probably changing diapers right now. And
baby's crying. His wife smacked him. What are you doing?
He just got home, man. And you're already on the show. Oh,
yeah.
Yep, there it is. Go
right here. I gotta go.
All right. Yeah.
See ya. We were right. Baby was crying. Man.
All right. No, it's a good spot. We went an hour. This is a good spot to end it. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. We'll have the post-game show or the pregame show streaming live tomorrow. 7:30, I believe, is when we're live with the pregame show. Then we have the watch along starting at 10, I think. Right? Yeah.
10.
Or no, yeah. No, we'll be on before 10. So
9:35.
Yeah. Yes. We'll be on around then. So appreciate everybody for jumping on. Hopefully tomorrow you guys tune in for the pregame show. We'll be live on 102.7 The Game, but also streaming here. And then we will be back for the watch along, and hopefully we have some better luck than that we did the other night. So yeah. All right, man. Good to see you. Go Cats, and talk to you. All right. Bye.